Okay. All right. So you guys go through and you get ready for audit. And so I got really one big question about that. Why do you guys hate celery? Like, why? Like, it's like an important part of a number of mixed drinks, right? And, you know, and you can't make a proper tuna salad sandwich without it, in my opinion.
No,
And
okay,
you
fair.
guys are trashing celery and explaining that to your auditors. Can you tell me a little bit about like what the motivation behind this war against celery is?
That was all Gabriella. It was not a popular vote. It was Gabriella.
It wasn't, yeah. No, I mean, I have to say I'm a fan of like, some peanut butter on the celery. Also good.
Right, of course, right.
I don't know. I think celery is highly overrated. Not a celery fan.
And so this exact conversation that that you just started is probably how it ended up there, because these are the types of conversations we have. Because we have very polarizing views in our group about mainly food related items.
Right. So, and this ends up being a bit fun, right? Because the big thing about, Strongpoint is you don't do work for the auditors, you do your work to do your job. And then out of that comes really great information for the auditors, right? But it's still your work, right? So you guys started messing around, and can you tell me, like, no one else other than us knows what we're talking about. Can you explain like where you're putting in these smart alecky comments and who gets to read this? Because I designed this system and I never expected people were going to put this stuff in the
that's why he got so excited, guys.
Yeah.
So what I'm talking about is when we have an approval on a change request or a deployment request. When you go to approve the change, it pops up and gives you an option to put in a note. And I don't know why, but for some reason, just having the pop-up compels me to like, oh, I feel like I need to put something in here, right? And so, it kind of started as that. And one day, I don't know why, well, I do know why, because I'm 10 at heart. I typed in loading, period, just to see if anybody would notice. And never thought about it again, and submitted it. I was like, I don't think anyone even looks at these. And like 15 minutes later, I get a ping from Gabriella, our controller. And she's like, hey, I think something's wrong with this change request. And I was like, oh no, what's wrong? Having already forgotten that I'd done it. And she's like, I've been staring at this for 10 minutes and it says it's loading your note and nothing's coming up. And I was mortified. I was like, oh my gosh, I am so sorry. And she thought it was funny. And I honestly don't remember. So that's kind of how it started.
Yeah, so actually it was worse than that, because of course she filed a support request, a Strongpoint, pointing out we had a bug in the system. No, I'm just kidding.
Right. She probably did. I mean,
with our stuff,
Yeah. And so, and I don't even know, like from there, I think Gabriella was probably the first one to just put a fact in there. And I don't totally remember how that happened, but then it slowly turned into like who could come up with the best, random fact. And Emily was always the judge because she usually was the one who would go back and read all of them. But that's essentially how it happened.
Yeah, what was the one I said to you guys? Horses can't throw up. Yeah, I just it's like I just learned that recently. So
there you go.
So now the reason for that thing, by the way, was because when you guys are doing your approvals, you guys are looking at the impact analysis, and it was so that somebody could write in, okay, say like, I'm approving this, but remember we have to do whatever, right? Like, so a note back to do it. But what happened for you is, of course, you fill it in, and then immediately, because Strongpoint automatically routes for approval, it immediately gets sent over to Gabriella, and she's thinking, okay, well, this is obviously a new feature. I got to look at it. And
Right.
so now you guys with these funny comments are just sort of like, taking the edge off the approval. Hopefully everybody's still reading the impact analysis and doing all the grown-up things, but that's fun.
Exactly. It's just a way to, spice it up. And honestly, it also, I think what probably drives it is because, every year when we meet with our auditors, they want us to go through selections with them and they want to do a sample of them live. And it's always kind of funny to see all of them trying to be professional while reading some of our comments up on
Oh, yeah.
because, they're very, nothing against auditors, but they tend to be, very serious in nature.